Hey guys, it's Brandon from electrIQ Marketing. Today I'm going to walk you through step by step how you can start to implement some best practice SEO for your Squarespace website. So first things first, you're going to want to develop a keyword list. I like to keep mine in an Excel file that will keep track of all the keywords that we're trying to rank for, their monthly search volume, and how difficult they are to rank for in the search engines. So the tool I use is SEMrush. So this is not going to be available for everyone, obviously, because this is a paid software. But another tool that you are able to use that works pretty well, and it gives you a few searches for free, is keywordfinder.com. So we're going to be doing this for the Roots and Blooms site, which is a skincare and body company that I work for. And so the way we develop our keyword list is coming up with like top 5 in an ideal world what we want to rank for. So in this instance, I was provided 5 top keywords that she would like to rank for her company. So we'll pull that up here. So here we have it here. Then you would take those keywords. For instance, let's say one of them is a body scrub, and you'll specify the location. We're focused on the United States because that's only where we ship, and our website only supports English, so we would select English. Then find keywords. Now this will populate with every related keyword in the search engines. So we're only seeing 50 because this is the free version of it, but here you'll have all different variations of body scrub, body exfoliator. You'll also have the difficulty for ranking in the search engines. So 41 is actually not bad. Typically, when you're looking at the most high volume keywords, you're going to be seeing 70 out of 100 as the difficulty. Now we would click here, export, and we'll just continue to do that. So I'm not going to register, but it will export into a CSV, and then you'll do that for all of your keywords, and you'll just combine it into one big Excel file. Now I'm going to go through and do it in SEMrush because it is a better tool, and some of you may have this paid subscription, or you'll be able to sign up for a trial and use it this way as well. So here you'll see I've already started on a list. So you'll see I typed in body scrub and it gave me all of these different ones. So now let's take a look at some of our other products. Let's say lip balm. The only limiting factor with this is the internet connection. So here we go. It populates with all the different variations of lip balm on the search results page. So let's just say lip balm recipe, how to make lip balm, and all. Here you're able to see the difficulty, the trend in search, and the total number of volume. We're not entirely interested in the cost per click right now because we're not running any AdWords campaigns, but that's something that you can look at as well. So I pick which ones I want. I'll add to the keyword analyzer. Then I'll go to the keyword analyzer. This is for Roots and Bloom, and here are the keywords. Then you can export to an Excel file, and I'll typically highlight I like top 15 or 20 to do the first round of optimization with. So in the end, you'll have a file that looks something like this. Now I shorten this for simplicity's sake, but Typically, your keyword file can be upwards of 1,000 keywords because SEO is really a never-ending process. You're going to do your first round of optimization and you're going to pick your top 20 keywords, but then from there, you have all these other keywords that you didn't even begin to try and optimize around that you can do, say, the next month when you decide to add on to your SEO initiatives. Now, let's get into actually implementing that. And this goes the same across all website platforms. This is how you start with any website, whether it's on WordPress, Wix, or Shopify, Squarespace. You always want to develop this master keyword list, which you'll base all of your SEO work off of. Your content creation, your optimization, it's all going to come from this list. So I'll show an example of a product and a page. So here we have the Sea Scrub body polish. We're going to edit it. And here we can already see a typo. Move that over. And now we begin to optimize. So we're not even using a header here, so we'll get that in. And as you can see from here, sea salt body scrub, $5.90. Dead sea salt scrub, $1,600. Sea salt scrub, $1,600. So let's go with sea salt scrub. Now, I don't have the liberty to change the products on a client's website, but if I were setting this site up from scratch or building out a new website with new products, I would actually change the naming of this product. So, for instance, when we had looked up body scrub in the keyword magic tool, if you remember, I'll go back here so that we can take a look at it. You'll see that it's got 1,500 searches a month, and the difficulty is only a 69. Now, if you look at sea salt body scrub, not only is the difficulty basically the same, but the volume is completely irrelevant. It is so low compared to the 15,000. It's almost 14,500 searches per month less. So in this case, I would change it to be body scrub sea salt polish. Because if you think about it, 15,000 people a month are searching for body scrub. They're not searching for sea scrub. So you have to sort of massage the way that you not only title your products but describe them in order to show up in the search engines for what people are looking for. But the next best case scenario is we start to add them into here. So as we saw, body scrub is actually higher, so we'll change the heading to body scrub. Now as we look through here, let's make sure that our keywords are represented. And we'll add another header in here. Sea salt. Oops. So, sea salt scrub ingredients. We'll get the sea salt scrub there in one of the headers, and we'll also have the ingredients. And we're actually going to move this down because I jumped ahead of myself, and the ingredients are actually listed down here. Now, we can add something in between here that will be a little bit better. Let's take a look and see if anything in the body scrub is going to fit in there. Now, exfoliating or how to use body scrub, that could be a potential. But the information here is so general that I don't really want to mess up the experience of the user and have the word scrub 18 times on this product. So for now, we'll leave it at that, and we will save it. Now you'll see this looks awful, and you'll have to experiment with this with your own website, but this body scrub is just huge. It's even bigger than the product title. So you can go in and adjust what the H1 font will be, but for this tutorial I'm not going to go and do that. Instead, I'm just going to change it to an H2. And still, this is pretty awful, so we might actually go ahead and change it to H3 for the time being. But you can always change your heading font to be different. So, I mean, this looks pretty awful too, so let's just go ahead and change the fonts. So you'll go to Design, you'll go to Site Style, oops, let's go back to Site Styles, now Font. So heading 2 right now is pretty big, 50. So we're going to drop that down to about 28 to make it more readable. Colors is black, that's fine. Then you'll click on Save, and then we can go back in here and re-edit this. After we back out of Design, go back here and edit the product. So here you'll change it back to an H2, and we'll leave the other one as an H3. Now this looks a lot better than it did before. I mean, it really depends on your site, but in this case, having the header for the content larger than the actual title of the product did not make any sense. So here you can see not only are we getting in our SEO terms, but this also breaks it up nicely for our clients. And I'm actually going to go ahead and say how to use body scrub. And we're going to make all of these H2s for the time being. I'm going to go back in and change it to be H3, but right now that H3 looks pretty terrible. So here you can see now we have body scrub, sea salt scrub, and how to use body scrub. These are all keywords that I have in my Excel file and that I've highlighted for what I want to be covering during this round of SEO optimization. So how to use body scrub, you can see right here, 1,300 searches, a 64 difficulty in the search engines. And as I mentioned, ideally you would get it into the title somehow as well, but there's only so much you can do. Now I will show you how to do a page. So this is not rocket science. You're just implementing headers where appropriate. So all natural skincare. And now I'm sort of winging this one off the cuff here because of some previous clients I have. I know what the search terms are for this. But typically, I would add it to my keyword list here. And you'll see natural skincare, 5,400. All natural skincare, 1,300. So by using all natural skincare, we're actually capitalizing on the natural skincare and the all natural skincare. That's more of a long tail keyword. So if we just use natural skincare, we're not going to be capitalizing on the all natural skincare. Let's get rid of that. Now I don't want to change any of the content of the site yet. But if you're going through this, you would be looking at the actual content in here and making sure that your keywords in your list that you've developed here are showing up throughout your content, at least 3 to 5 times on each page. So one of the things that I'm going to do when I go back to this client is tell them that we need to build out their about page a lot. Google prefers longer form content to short form content. So typically I don't like to have any pages that are under 800 to 850 words. I'd rather combine pages and build them out so that they're very informative than just have a bunch of tiny non-informative pages. That's why I typically don't recommend to start a blog unless you're really going to be able to do it, because a 500 word post here and there really doesn't do anything. It'd actually be better if you wrote a 2,500 word post once a month as opposed to 4 750 posts over the course of a month. So we'll save that. And then you would just go through and do this for all of your pages. Handmade is another great descriptor to put in front of your products. Great for SEO. But that basically wraps it up for Squarespace SEO. There's a little bit more that you're able to do with Shopify and with WordPress, but Squarespace is a little bit limited. So what you're really going to be focused on is that content and making sure that your headers represent your keywords. And there is some stuff you can do with Squarespace SEO, but it's pretty limited. If you go to settings and advanced, now I'm even forgetting where it is. But you are able to specify where. Here we go. So you go to marketing, you go to SEO, and this is where you will put your site title and your description. So this is very important. Right now it's being automatically generated, so we're going to want to develop our own description. And we're going to do that based off of the about page. So Roots and Blooms is an all-natural handmade skincare line from San Francisco. Pure plant-based ingredients with proven healing botanicals. So I like to usually include a call to action in the meta description. And typically you're going to want it to be under 160 characters, like in between that 150 to 160. But for now, this is fine. And plant-based is also in here as well. So we're touching on all natural, handmade, skincare, line from San Francisco, plant-based ingredients, and healing botanicals. So we're capturing a lot of keywords there without making it sound too keyword stuffy or too much like we're just trying to rank. And this is typically how I like to do the naming convention. It'll be keywords and then the title of the company. So all natural skincare, roots and blooms. Now you are able to have it, so this sets how your homepage title appears in browser tabs. This sets how most page titles appear in your browser tabs, and this will set how collection items appear in your browser tabs. I typically wouldn't mess with this. The only thing I ever change is this. I like it when it looks better like this. So instead of that like dash like that, instead of the dash that goes like this, you're gonna have the one that goes like this. But that's just a stylistic preference. I like how that sort of separates it out more. But you aren't able to do it page by page or collection by collection. So it is a little limited in that sense. You have to specify this is the title, then this is the company name. This is the post, and this is the company name. So it's not the end of the world, but for instance, in Shopify, you're able to have the search engine results be actually different than the title of your page. So in that case, with the product that we had, we would actually change the title in the search engines to be body scrub, even though the product title is not body scrub. So that way, we're still able to capture some of that search engine traffic without changing the name of the product. But in this case, we're not able to do that, but we do what we can. So after that, you just need to go through and do that to all of your products and to all of your pages. Now, once you're done with that, you're going to want to go to Google Search Console. Now, if you don't already have one of these set up, Google has a bunch of guides that are able to help you. But I will actually go through and show you how to do that. And we're actually going to use the new Search Console. So we're going to add a property. And you want to make sure that you put whether it's HTTP or HTTPS. Your site should be secure, so it should be a PS. And you need to make sure that it's listed the exact way that it shows up in the search engines. And even Google says it here. They're counted as different properties, so make sure you have the S. So now we're going to add that. And we'll have to verify it. So if your Google Analytics is already set up, you can verify it that way. In this case, it's not set up. So we'll have to add a meta tag to the site's homepage. Now for some systems, even when your analytics is properly set up, like on Shopify or sometimes on Squarespace, it won't say that it is set up. So you won't be able to verify through Google Analytics. You're just going to have to copy and paste this code into your header. So if you go to Settings and Advanced and you go to Code Injection, this is where you're going to put it, header. Enter the code that will be injected into the head tag on every page of your site. So oops. And I just like to notate what it is. And here you can see if you do the double slash, it makes it so that it doesn't actually show up as code. Now we'll save that. Oh, in this case, it's not working for some reason. So obviously, we do not want that to show up there. So we're just going to copy and paste what we got from below and see if it'll work. And if not, then we're just going to have to go ahead and not notate it in here. Yeah, so For the time being, we'll leave it as that, but typically if you're uploading a bunch of tags and a bunch of verification things, you want it to make sense. So you're going to have to mark which is which, just so it doesn't get overwhelming. For instance, when we upload the analytics into here, it might get a little bit confusing. So now our code is in there, and we can go back to Google Search Console, and we'll just click Verify. Ownership verified. So now let's go to the property. So there won't be any data here. You're going to have to check back again in a few days. But you are going to want to link your analytics account to your Google Search Console account. Well, in this case, we're actually going to be setting this up from scratch because it appears that this client has not actually used Google Analytics before. So we're going to create a new account. A little bit extra in this tutorial I didn't think we were going to cover. So, Lips and Blooms, we have an HTTPS, and then we copy. I'm just going to leave this open so that I can stop going to this. rootsblooms.com. Copy that in there. Industry category, doesn't really matter, but pick your time zone. I would leave all of these checked, and then get tracking ID. So accept, sign your life away to Google, and then proceed on. So now we have the tracking code. So we're going to copy and paste this into the same place that we just put our Google Search Console verification. And apparently this is the notation that it wants in here so that we can start to specify what is what. And this just makes it easier for me to read because we're still going to have to put in like Facebook pixels and some other tracking codes that need to go onto the header so that it shows up on every page. And when you're scrolling through here to see what's on the website, you don't want it to just be code after code after code with no sort of delineation of what is what. So this helps you or anyone else who goes into the site to be able to identify what is what. So let's save that. Then we're going to go back here, and we'll go to the home page. And we'll see, here I am on the site, one active user right now. Obviously, we're not going to have any historical data, but if you have set up your Google Analytics before, you will have historical data here. Now, we're going to want to go back to admin, and then go back to your Google Search Console. And now I still prefer to use the old version of Google Search Console. It's just preference. You don't have to. It just makes it easier, in my opinion. So we'll go to the old version. And now we're going to connect the sites, actually. Here's a list of clients, but this is the one that we want to link to the Google Analytics account. Click OK. Now it is connected. So now if you go to it, you will see that it was connected. And the way you are able to verify that is by going here go to Acquisition, Search Console, Landing Pages. So by establishing that connection and that link, we're going to be able to start receiving some data from Google Search Console in analytics. So we'll have data on our best landing pages. Specifically, we're really interested in our best landing pages for organic traffic. We'll also be able to identify countries, devices, and queries that are driving people to the website. So you definitely want to set up this link. Another way to do it is if you go through analytics and you go down here and click on Search Console and you haven't set it up yet, then it'll say here, add a site, and then you'll just do it the reverse way. But I did it by adding it through Search Console. So now we're all set up with our Google Analytics, our Google Search Console, and I've showed you how to do some basic SEO on Squarespace. That's about it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out at my email, brandon@electricmarketing.com. But I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you.